Good afternoon. In accordance with the Section 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of Committee of the Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considered applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning that applies to property, permission to extend or order lawful non-conforming uses, and to consent to serve the property to create new lots. And my name is Yim Chen. I will be chairing this afternoon's meeting. And I also like to introduce our panel, Ms. Nellie Wilbert, Mr. Peter Reed, and also Dylan Reed. And our Deputy Secretary Treasurer is Sabrina Salentino. And I also would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anasazi, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submission in person, and others will participate virtually through WebEx. The meeting are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and then anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connecting with their computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone, and have the options of participating via video or audio only. All virtual participants will automatically be muted on entry. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. We'll ask you also mute your devices until you're called to speak. Those participating by video appearance will be temporarily upgraded to panelists when your item is being held. During this time, your camera will be enabled, and you will only be visible during your 5 minutes speaking time. At all other times, your video will be disabled and you will be reinstated as attendee. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or any other panelist's controls during a video appearance. The hosts will remove you from the panelist role if you fail to respect this instruction. How to receive a decision of the committee? People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for decision by email. And please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, because the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body, TLAB, will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the decision, you might be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances, to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and January removed rights of third-party appeals to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons and public body, such those terms were defined in the Planning Act, are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. And the following is the procedure, the hearing procedure. and I will call each item in the order listed on the pen and on the agenda. When applicant is not contested, the agent or the applicant may proceed with the presentation if desired. When the committee does not require presentation, applicants are to advise the chair if they wish to speak to the committee. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for decision. Each speaker, including the applicant or agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee, and I will comment when you reach your 5 minutes. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance. Staff and committee members cannot accept material at the hearing. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee on the application. Please note, the committee might not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. The committee might decide to defer the application if substantially revised to make sure that the revised application is accurate and all those entitled to notice are informed of the changes. Then individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we will call the people in this room first and then those participating through Webex next. Committee members may also ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. When all the speakers are finished, the applicant or the agent has the opportunity to rebut only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion, and the application will be taken into committee for decision. For this afternoon, I would like to know whether there's any declaration or conflict from the staff or from the panel member. No? Okay. Also, whether there will be file to be closed or deferral requests.
Through you, Madam Chair, I see no files to be closed this afternoon. As for deferral requests, there is one deferral request for item number 17, 71 Kennedy Avenue.
Yes.
File numbers B0077/21TEY, A0901/21TEY, and A0902/21TEY. We can deal with this matter at this time. I believe the agent is here in person. Yes, come to the podium. And through you, Madam Chair, we do have speakers as well in opposition.
They also some in person and some online, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, Mr. Chen, I know. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Christian Chen. I'm the agent for the applicants. My address is 157 Adelaide Street, West Toronto, Ontario.
So, sorry, Christian, can you just move over one so you're in camera?
Okay, does that work, Ms. Sullivan?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I don't think you need to repeat his name and address. Everybody could hear it. So tell us why, please. Yeah.
Yes, Madam Chair. So there was a previous deferral request that was requested in January 2025. There were attempts to communicate with the neighbors over that time. There were some issues that needed to be addressed, such as a revised survey responding to some concerns, and also a tree protection plan and arborist report.
Yeah.
So those documents have been finalized and prepared. However, I do understand that there's still issues with those documents, particularly, again, the survey and the TPP and the arborist report as submitted, as the submissions came in last week for the deadline. With specific regards to urban forestry posted the report on AIC on August 20th. I did provide Melanie Dubrod the revised arborist report in mid-July, but I haven't received a response, and tried to reach out to her back then, and also following the posting of the urban forestry report on AIC. Additional trees were identified in urban forestry's report that have not been addressed by our arborists that need to be addressed. We would like to continue discussions with urban forestry since the tree or the trees appear to be one of the central issues of the neighbors. The staff position has changed from the initial application with no objections to the proposal, and now we have objections from staff. I would like to have the additional time to speak to staff on this and have the consulting arborist both for the applicant and the opposition to speak.
You mentioned staff. It means the urban forestry staff.
Urban forestry staff as well as Kunz Forestry.
Okay.
I can't speak to our arborist response on what was provided last week under the submission deadline for the arborist and also urban forestry because our arborist is away until September 3rd. So I'd like the additional time to have that conversation because this could potentially affect the design. We did mention to the neighbors that it's unlikely that there will be changes made earlier this year. However, with this submission of both the revised urban forestry position, the opposing consulting arborist report, and on top of that, there was a planning opinion that was provided by one of the neighbors' retained planners that I would like also to have a conversation with that registered professional planner as well to see if issues can be further resolved. All this information was unavailable to me to respond to in the intervening time since the last deferral. Mr. Feigl wrote in January 2025 to seek the retention of a consulting planner for his clients. I did reach out to Mr. David Eagleman, who is a registered planner with Design Plan Services, who provided a submission in January 2025. He informed me that he was no longer retained.
I see.
I was made aware of the intent to retain a planner from the neighbors when I was contacted by Sejeki Planning on August 14th, and discussions between myself and Sejeki Planning, who I understand was not ultimately retained by the neighbors. However, we did have discussions to organize a meeting, which was scheduled for August 19th, and unfortunately it was canceled by the neighbors. My client was amenable to appear at the meeting in order to further discuss the issues, so I would like the additional time also to continue discussions. There's another planner that I understand, a registered professional planner, Mr. Barton, that was retained, the author of the report that was submitted to the Committee of Adjustment last week. I think it would be a very good idea for the two registered professional planners to have a discussion to see if there could be a resolution to the planning issues on this, which was also a discussion that was unavailable in the intervening time. And additionally, we received a zoning notice this Monday, August 25th, that deleted one of the variances, but it's based on the exact plans that are before the committee. Potentially, and I think the reason why the revised zoning notice was sent out is because they reviewed the application again and realized that the duplex is not subject to the floor space index provisions of the bylaw. So we would also like to review, and again, this is all information that was received from staff very recently, to review that and to confirm that in fact that variance is to be removed from the variance list as well.
Thank you.
And of course, seeking a deferral would give the opportunity to re-engage with the neighbors after the experts, both the consulting arborist and urban forestry, as well as myself in planning. And of course, I would like also to reach out to community planning again. They haven't provided a position on this, but maybe it might be to the benefit of the committee that we have another discussion with community planning and they can provide their opinion on the matter once we come back.
Thank you.
Should it be granted? Thank you.
Thank you. This is one of the longest deferral requests we have received so far. As with all those reasons, you still have questions for what he said? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Just a couple questions. You came back after the previous deferral with exactly the same plans. For the next one, would you be willing to adjust your plans to consider some of the issues that are being considered, such as the arborist issues?
Yes, and contrary to what I stated in February to the neighbors, stating that my clients had no interest to change the plans. However, upon advisement to them and considering the expert reports that have come in for this particular hearing, I think we have to get back to the table and take a look at what has happened and what has been recommended by those experts in order to see if there could be any alterations to the design in order to especially address the tree issues that have been raised.
Yeah, that's good to hear. The other issue that's outstanding, as you know, is the TRCA one. From your letter, it says that you had many meetings with them. Do you think that that can be resolved as well? Because certainly it would be a concern of ours that the TRCA is not on board.
Yes, unfortunately, I can advise the committee that the TRCA and the applicant are at loggerheads with respect to the determination of where the lot line is going to go. I think it would be good, again, if I can see if we can find avenues of agreement with the TRCA, but that's unlikely. And for that particular aspect of the proposal, we would seek direction from the Committee of Adjustment once we provide our rationale to the Committee of Adjustment on that point.
Right. So if I can suggest that if we accept the deferral and you come back with that, maybe you can have a quite detailed explanation of the TRCA issue and what your position is.
Yes.
I know that you have some information here, but something very clear so that we can see exactly what the issue is. I'm sure it will be helpful to the committee to understand what the situation is.
Yes, and through you, Madam Chair, it would be opportune to provide, even under separate cover, a fulsome response specifically to the TRC.
Yeah, exactly.
Submission.
Yeah, it seems that, there's a lot of reason, and also it seems that the applicant's been making a lot of effort to do that. So with all these reasons, we would like to hear the other persons who want to address to the deferral request. Yeah.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair, we do have people here in person, so one by one, come up to the podium.
Thank you. So you know that we're only dealing with the request for deferral first. We are not going to go into the hearing.
Understood. Thank you, and good afternoon.
So, yeah.
First of all, Madam Chair and committee members, thanks for allowing me to speak. Is Mr. Michael Fiegel online? He is our legal counsel, so I would like him to hear.
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, we have Michael online.
So, just let us know your name and address.
Apologies, yes. My name's Aaron Rogers. My address is 10 DeForest Road.
Thank you.
So an impacted neighbor. So of course, we'll go with the will of the committee, this decision made here. My preference is not to defer. Some of the issues that Mr. Chan raised, the arborist reports, those have been in place since the original submission, which was back in 2021, 2022. So nothing has changed there with the arborist reports or the TRCA assessment. So I'm not sure why that hasn't been addressed to date. Mr. Chan also mentioned his email, which was back on April 30th, indicating that the owners were unwilling to make changes to the plans. So it is news to me now that they've changed their mind and are willing to make adjustments, but certainly up until 30 seconds ago, this didn't feel like a way to have a fulsome discussion and to reach a compromise. And finally, in terms of the planner that's been retained by a neighbor, all the material was submitted within the deadline required, within a week. There was no communication or contact after that material was submitted. So I think I'll wrap it up there, but my preference would be to continue.
Deferral. And you're only from your own address, you have a number 10, right?
Number 10 DeForest.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much. We invite the others to speak to the deferral request.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Carly Kirkpatrick, and I'm the owner-resident at number 4 DeForest Road.
Number 4, okay.
I would also like to voice my desire for the deferral request to be rejected. Mr. Chan and his clients have had the same amount of time as the rest of us with the relevant documents, and this is their full-time job, unlike us. We've all made the time to be here. We've made the time to consult the proper documents. I did actually retain Mr. Barton's services. This is my first home, actually, that I've owned, and this is my first time going through this process. So in consultation with our real estate lawyer, my husband and I were advised to retain the support of a city planner in order to better navigate our way through this
You
process.
opposed to the deferral request, right?
Pardon me?
You opposed to the deferral request?
I am opposed to the deferral
you
request, but I wanted
wanted
to clarify that
hear it
Mr.
today.
Martin was
Okay.
retained by myself.
Yeah. Thank you.
And really, I don't understand what, if there isn't
That's
going
fine. We get yeah, we have to take the sort of like the vote, see whether we will grant or not. So, yeah, thank you. We're just speaking for, to the deferral request now. Yeah, thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Same here, we're only dealing with the deferral request. If we're going to go ahead and hear it, we will deal with the details. Then you have, again, the time to speak.
Thank you,
that,
Madam
yeah.
Chair
Yeah.
and Committee of Adjustments. This is the third deferral.
Sorry, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Erminia Di Domenico, and I live at 12 DeForest Road.
Okay,
This is the third deferral,
okay.
and I guess my concerns are that these site plans that were submitted don't actually reflect the actual scale and boundaries of the property. We as neighbors have been incredibly transparent. All the surveys for 10, 12, and 14 DeForest Road have been on the Committee of Adjustments website. And there is going to be massive impacts to the community with this type of development.
So are you opposed to the deferral?
Yes,
or,
I'm
or you're opposed? Yeah, I think that's what we go first, and then we will decide, yeah, on details. Yeah.
Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Nicholas Singh, Swansea Area Ratepayers Association.
yes.
Yes, in response to what I've heard from the applicant, in regards to the zoning notice, the new zoning notice that came out, I believe this is a result of an inquiry that I made regarding the FSI, and I received a response from planning saying
Through you,
that-
Madam
So,
Chair, only
yeah.
the merits of a deferral right now.
Yes,
that we can
because
hear.
we don't want to get ahead
Can
of
only
ourselves.
hear, are
Yes, I
you,
am speaking to that.
Yeah,
you're actually getting into the weeds of the application.
yeah.
So we can only hear,
reason-
are you in favor of a deferral, yes or no?
No.
Yes. So you're opposed. That's all we need for now. We're going to deal with it, but whether there's a decision on the deferral first. You know,
Any other speakers here in person that wish to speak to this item? See none. Through you, Madam Chair, now we'll go to those that are virtual.
Yes, and just remind everybody, we're dealing with the deferral request first, so the answer to that is only just yes or no, then we can take, we can take the next steps. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, Michael, you've been unmuted. Hello, Michael, you've been unmuted.
You can move.
Hello, Michael, can you hear us?
Through you, Madam Chair, perhaps we can call Michael.
Yeah, and then we can go back to him, or we just.
No, through you, Madam Chair, I believe there's another person online as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, let's go to that one and then go back to Michael later. Yeah.
Hello, Celine, you've been unmuted.
Hi, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you very well. Yeah, just about the deferral request. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no opinions on the deferral request. I'm
Okay.
from Coons Forestry. I'm happy to speak to my arborist report if it gets
Okay.
to that, but no opinions on the deferral.
Thank you very much. So you're opposed. Okay. So do we have more, one more person? Might we go back to Michael? Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we're going to try calling Michael in.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Yes. Can you tell us whether you're in favor or you opposed to deferral request?
Hello, Michael? Can you hear us?
Through you, Madam Chair, he's been disconnected.
Oh. So,
Through you, Madam Chair, we've made multiple attempts to contact Michael Barton. Perhaps we can move on.
okay, we can
If
move.
there's no other speakers, then we'll hear back from Kristen Chan.
Yes.
No other speakers?
Through you, Madam Chair, there are no other speakers.
All right. So, Mr. Chen, you can hear, so far, everybody is opposing the deferral request. Let's hear your response to that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my position that we'd still like to request deferral, respectfully request the deferral for the application. A number of items were brought up by the neighbors in terms of, yes, the tree reports have been in existence since the file was first dealt or considered in 2021. But just like to advise the committee also that the consulting arborists have changed from the opposing arborist from Thomas Watson Consulting, and also now it's Kunz Consulting. The consulting planners for the opposition have also changed. Originally, it was Design Plan Services, Mr. Eagleman. Then it was notionally going to be Sejeki Planning, and now it's Michael Barton. And so I think throughout all this as well, it'd be opportune to have a discussion with the people that are on the file right now, especially since opinions can change. Again, also, surveys were provided, yes, at the AIC last week. Obviously, it would have been more opportune to have those earlier. We did, on our end, revise the survey, and I think we have to take another look at that as well. That always takes some time. Okay. And of course, as raised by Mr. Singh with regards to the ZAP review, this is one of the few or first occasions I've heard the neighbor contacting Toronto Buildings and seeking a revised ZAP review for something that is affecting my clients, versus me reaching out to Toronto Buildings and saying, hey, there may be an issue with the zoning notice. So again, as I'll reiterate as well from before that we would like to take a look at that as well.
Okay, so the new notice, the zoning notice, whatever the revision it says, does not affect what we are, if we're going to proceed to hear today, those changes will not make the application like worse scenario, right? It will just improvement?
No, Madam Chair. On my initial view, it was a removal, a deletion of one of the variances for the Part 2 retained lot.
Oh, I see.
So are you going on public record removing a variance?
Through
Part
you,
two?
Madam Chair, I'm not sure
Which-
whether it can do that under the consideration of the deferral.
No, I know that, but you're just, so it's public record, part two,
Yes.
variance number 1.
It would be variance number 1 with regards to the floor space index.
So that's shown on the screen.
So,
So that would be the change from the zoning review, the only change.
Yes, upon my initial glance, that would.
so is it deleting variance?
Through you, Madam Chair, we really can't consider that now because we're not hearing the application. We're just hearing about the deferral request.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what I mean is, I was just worried if we do not grant the deferral, let's say, the red line zoning notice is not included in this hearing.
No.
Okay.
Then we'll hear the application
Okay.
in its entirety, and Mr. Chan will then remove that variance.
I see. All right. That I did not. I just wanted to be clear. So, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chen. So we have heard both sides, and we're going to to discuss this. All right. Who wants to start? It seems that Okay, please.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is not as clear-cut as our usual deferral requests. Usually, it's very straightforward.
Yes.
In this case, I absolutely understand the neighbor's concern that this is, the applicant had more than enough time to address these issues and did not. On the other hand, I think the applicant now is perhaps willing to make changes to the plan, which I think could materially improve the application and address some of the serious issues, especially from urban forestry. So I think that would be, a good outcome. And so I am somewhat reluctantly willing to consider the deferral, given that the applicant has indicated a willingness to actually change the plans to address some of the, especially the arborist concerns. So that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. Okay. Peter, yeah?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I agree with Dylan. I won't go over his points again, but I agree with those points. The only thing I'd add is that I do think there is the potential for a good plan in this application. Like, there's definitely room for a new building on that lot, but I think that, for me, that's a reason to defer to see if they can come up with that. They're not there now, but I think that if the applicant does, go forward as he said, that they could come back with something that's more palatable.
Yeah, I sort of would add mine, but I'm not saying that because of that, then I prefer. But so far, the previous deferral is slightly different. This time, it seems that he said that he is willing to talk to some other professional planners, which they did not have that opportunities that previous deferral. And then I think that might come up with a better plan. A good plan with another opportunity to deal with some issues that may make it a better plan.
I think that if we do grant the deferral, we should be pretty specific about what we
Very
want to see
specific,
next time, right? We
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see resolution with TRCA.
Yeah. And we would
having
like
a
to
clear-
see some effort really to
Yeah.
for revision, so that make them just to address some of the neighbors' concerns.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 3 parties, right? The neighbors.
Yeah, urban forestry.
Yeah, we have urban forestry, we have TRC, and we have the neighbors. So
So it sounds like we have some common ideas. So let's have a motion, please. Yeah.
Okay, I think for the reasons we all mentioned, I think that a deferral is warranted in this situation. I'd like to note in the minutes that we'd like to see not resolution, but serious progress being made with TRCA, with urban forestry, and with the neighbors.
Yes, at least aggressively work with them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I move that we defer the application with those conditions, or those
Through you, Madam Chair, just, we all know that if TRCA is saying denial, they will not be able to get building permits, right? And it is about a severance and then construction on 2 new lots.
That's why there's a.
So they definitely need resolution with TRCA, or else they will not get building permits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so resolution with TRCA.
Yeah.
Further discussions with the arborist, urban forestry,
Yeah.
general public,
Say resolution of urban forestry's concerns.
resolution of urban forestry as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then perhaps revised plans with a revised zoning review.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right, to update it. Yeah, I think we make it what we are hoping to see all those for the next time. So, Mr. Peter Reid, you have a motion. Do I, Mr. Dylan Reid, second. All in favor of deferral with all those conditions? All in favor, this is deferred unanimously with all those conditions. Thank you. So, yeah. It's deferred. Thank you. Yeah.
Madam Chair and committee members.
Through you, Madam Chair, that's it for the deferrals, so we can move on to item number 15.
Okay. Item number 15, ABC, is 247 to 249 Hyde Park Avenue. This is a consent to sever the property into 2 residential lots. The purpose of the application is to construct a new 3-story semi-detached apartment building with a front and a rear porch with stairs, front and rear basement walkout, 2nd-story front and rear deck with stairs, 3rd floor front balcony with stairs, and a 3rd-story rear deck. There will be 9 bicycle parking spaces and no automobile parking spaces on the lot. Also, to construct a 2-story detached auxiliary building containing 2 garden suites in the rear yard of the lot, and as well as another rear auxiliary building, which is a storage shed and bicycle parking. There will be a total of 9 residential dwelling units on this lot, 7 dwelling units in the semi-detached apartment building, and 2 garden suite units in the auxiliary building. The committee also received a survey site plan, floor plan, and elevation, a copy of the draft of the survey, and 2 photographs of the subject property, cover letter, and also a planning justification report from the agent, arborist report, and lot coverage analysis from the agent. We also received comment, an email from community planning and transportation and engineering. And we also receive urban forestry comment. We received support, a total of 8 signature in petition in support. They are on Hyde Park Avenue, 313, 351, 55, 265, and 187 and 189 Annette Street. And we have received a letter of concern from some David Marty, no address. We have received another Stanley and A.R. Ryan, no address. And we received 2, another one with no address and no name. And we have received 336 Hyde Park Avenue. We received oppositions from, on Hyde Park, we have received 215, 224, 314, 245. That's from Hyde Park, and 187 Annette. And also material submitted by 187 Annette. That's all the material we have received. And let me see.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent in person, 1 speaker in interest, and 5 speakers in opposition.
All right, thank you. And I believe that they, in terms of number of variances, they have they're asking for 20 variances. Yeah. So, hi. Welcome.
Afternoon, Madam Chair,
Yes.
committee members.
Yeah.
David Eagleman, Associate and Registered Professional Planner, Design Plan Services, Inc., 87 Skyway Avenue, Suite 200.
Yes.
And through you, Madam Chair, we have decided, based on comments received from neighbors in the surrounding area, most of them came in only about a week ago.
Oh.
We have decided that we would like to request a deferral in order to allow for time for us to consider those comments received and come back at a later date.
Oh, all right. So now this is only just for now. It's a request for deferral. Yeah, it's only really based on all the comments you receive from your neighbors since you talked to them. Is that right?
Through you, Madam Chair, we received comments from the neighbors only about, most of them
Yeah, I
came in
understand.
about.
But is there any other issues like from urban forestry or some other issues you want to work on them still?
No, through you, Madam Chair, there are no concerns from staff at all.
Okay, thank you. So in that case, do we have people want to speak to the deferral requests on this item? Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair. Oh, yeah.
Maybe before that, we can just ask a couple questions.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So are you saying that you're willing to reconsider and modify the application that's before us now?
Through you, Madam Chair, we would like to consider the comments received and have discussions with the neighbors to see if there is anything that can be done in order to resolve some of the concerns. I don't want to commit to any revisions at this point, but we do want to have further discussions and see if there's opportunity to address some of the concerns raised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, another question is how many neighbors you actually have reached and how many of them provide like some comments that you think that you can make adjustments for?
Through you, Madam Chair, there were, I didn't count the specific
just
number
roughly,
of
you know,
letters.
number.
I think there was,
The number of them.
I believe, about 7 or so. I didn't count the exact number of letters received, but we would like more time to go through those comments in more detail and have some discussions and go from there.
All right. Yeah, Mr. P. Yeah.
Yeah, as one of the neighbors pointed out, at the moment, your plans have the staircases landing on soft landscaping. So as well as talking to neighbors, can we also have a deferral so that you can revise the plans to be, to address the fact that you will need some additional paving at the base of the stairs?
Through you, Madam Chair, I would prefer not to subject the deferral to specific revisions so that
We'll just say generally to possibly revise the plans.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, because I think that's an issue.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks specifically to the soft landscaping variances.
And also there's another.
I think we would have a lot of concerns passing a landscaping variance where there's obvious cases where there's hard landscaping that's needed but not in the plans. So.
Yeah, well, we just want to warn you, next time we want to see a supportable scheme, if you're going to work on it more. Yeah, we just warn you about the major things. We're not going to say you must do this.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, members, if you're putting in a motion to defer, you can come up with your own reasons. The applicant may not agree, but it is your choice at that point. So if you want to see revisions, you can say to revise the plans and submit a revised zoning review along with those revised plans or a revised waiver form.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And also the other, I read through all the oppositions, the other big issue seems that is the angular plane penetration. If you can look at them, that's fine. I think those are major concern I see. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a question?
Oh, no, I just wanted to add a comment that,
Sorry, can you speak into the microphone?
Okay, yes. So tying up to what Madam Chair was saying about the angular plane, I would like to see revisions to the garden suites, you know.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Excuse me, we cannot hear her. Yeah, we cannot hear. We can't hear anything.
Sorry, can you say it again? So you want to see
Yeah,
changes
we
to
would-
the
yeah,
build form?
Yeah, we would like to see revisions to the garden suite. You know, all the, you know, there are a list of variances, you know, for garden.
Okay, so the variances that are associated with the garden suite, you want to see revisions to that?
Okay, so let's, now we don't have questions now. Let's deal with this referral request, and let's listen to the next speaker.
So through you, Madam Chair, there are a number of people here in person. One by one, please come up to the podium.
Yes,
My name is John Sutton,
yes,
and I live at 215 High Park Avenue.
yes,
Same side of the street, same block as this application.
yes. So the issue is the same. The applicant now is requesting a deferral. What we need from you is only whether you agree to a deferral, because he's willing to make the revisions to address some of the concerns. So just say yes or no, so we can move on from here. Yeah.
I will agree to a deferral on the condition, Madam Chair,
Yeah.
that the whole process of this application receives significant review because of what appeared to be deliberate misinformation given to the city on this application. They have the trees issue. They took photographs in the winter that don't adequately reflect. The application says there were no trees implicated. This David Engelman and the other previous planner tout this view of registered professional planners who I think should be sanctioned for submitting to the city significant misinformation.
Okay.
And the three areas where it's particularly egregious are, as has already been raised, the softscape, the stairs landing in the middle of softscape. So they take the softscape calculation
it's
to the
okay,
second
yeah.
decimal.
We will deal with the request. We understand your position. You oppose to.
The other-
Yeah, you agree to the deferral. Okay, thank you. I think that we should leave the detail the next step when we actually hear the case. All this inaccuracy, all this point, I think that this gives the chance to the applicant to correct them. And
To correct them?
I mean, if you think that it is a deficiency, if they find out there's errors or mistakes, they're supposed to give us an accurate application, right? Yeah.
I think that the city has a citywide problem of professionals misrepresenting information to the city.
Through you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, we can move on to the next
Yeah.
speaker. We've already heard from this speaker. They're not in support of the deferral. Thank you. Next speaker. And please show respect in the hearing room, or you'll be asked to leave. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please just speak to the deferral, whether you agree or you don't, that's all, yeah.
My name is Lorinda Maza. I live at 245 Hyde Park Avenue.
Okay,
I agree with the deferral.
okay, thank you very much, yes.
Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon.
Yes, same question, same,
Gina Kendry, 187 Annette Street, and I agree with the deferral.
thank you so much.
Next speaker, please.
Hello,
Yes.
Andrew Marchenko from 280 Hyde Park Avenue. And I would agree to deferral, but if I can take 30 seconds to explain something. This submission has been put in with absolutely no consideration to the character of the area and absolutely nothing to show the neighbors what this actually would look like when blended into their street. They are here asking all of us for accommodation, for a compromise. And it's one thing to ask for a few more units, but what are they giving back? And they're coming into an area that's stunningly beautiful, that everybody's maintained, and putting one of the worst-looking houses I've seen that detracts everybody's value and enjoyment. So what I'm asking
Merits
is...
of the deferral, please. The
When-
merits
no.
of the deferral.
He's in favor of the deferral. He is in favor.
All I ask is, when they come back, they simply do more drawings and more information that the proposal can be judged more than just the floor
Thank you.
plans.
Yeah, we heard that. Thank you.
Next speaker, please. Are there any other speakers for this item? See none. We'll go to the virtual speakers.
Yes, yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, I'm not able to connect the speaker in opposition or interest. I've made multiple attempts.
Okay, and that speaker is at 238 Hyde Park Avenue. So through you, Madam Chair, we can go back to
The
the
agent?
applicant if there's no other speakers?
Yeah, that's
No? Okay, we can go back
the
to,
agent, yeah. It seems that there's only one person we cannot contact, but most of them spoken that in favor of the deferral, but we should really work on the conditions too. Yeah, okay.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair, I believe everyone who spoke was in agreement to the deferral, so I don't have anything to add.
Okay, good. So we are in committee now. If you feel that we need to make sure what we want from next time.
I move that we approve the deferral.
Okay.
In order to, for the applicant to consult with the neighbors and to correct and adjust the plans, particularly with reference to the soft landscaping and the garden suites, and to adjust any zoning is required as a result.
In the garden.
Sorry, any variances are required as a result. Is that
Yes.
about right?
so through you, Madam Chair, what I heard was speak with the neighbors, and then revise the plans regarding the variances that are associated with the garden suite
Yes.
And the rear soft landscaping.
and the rear soft landscaping, okay. And then, and we don't need to hear, thank you, and to ensure that accurate plans are submitted.
Exactly.
Yes.
Revised plans, revised zoning review.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's cover everything. Yeah, really. We are not discussing the merits of the application now. Let's not get into that. All right. So anyone second? We have the motion. Okay, Peter second. All in favor with all the conditions of reasons to defer. All in favor and it's deferred. Thank you. Unanimously. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we cannot push you to do things. I hope that you will say what you will do what you promised to do. Okay. Thank you. So number 15 is deferred. Now we move to item number 16. Right, 16 is 16 ABC. Is 26B Lewis Street. The purpose is to construct a new 3-story, 16-unit apartment building that will span over 3 lots. And this apartment building will contain a total of 6 residential units with front and rear basement walked out, front and rear porches with a stair, front and rear second-story balconies, front and rear rooftop patios, and with access enclosure. No long-term bicycle parking spaces and no automobile parking spaces. Also to construct 1-story detached auxiliary building in the rear yard, which is a garden suite, with a basement and a rooftop maintenance access. There will be a total of 7 residential dwelling units on this lot, 6 units with the apartment buildings, and 1 unit will be within the auxiliary building. The purpose for number 26 Lewis Street is to construct a new 3-story, 16-unit apartment building that will span over 3 lots. known as 24, 26 Lewis Street and 26B. This apartment building will contain a total of 4 residential units with front and rear basement walkout, front and rear porches with stair, front and rear second-story balconies, and front and rear rooftop access enclosure. No long-term parking spaces and no automobile parking spaces. We also received site plan, floor plan, elevation, 5 photographs of the subject property, and also cover letter from the agent and decision affecting the property, arborist report and presentation material from the agent. We also received email communication from community planning and transportation engineering, and also from TRCA. We also receive a staff report from development engineering and also urban forestry, and also TRCA. And we also receive report from Metrolinx. And we receive support. There's no address provided for this. Someone called Liv, I can't pronounce this name, but someone in support, and a total of 10 forms or letters in support signed by on Lewis Street and 2923, and on Salter Street is 6459, and on Lewis Street is 1022A, 3440. And 2161 Broadview Avenue and 344 Eastern Avenue. We also received oppositions from 22 Lewis Street. And that's all the material we have received. We are ready for the agent. You are here. Yeah, it seems that you have some opposition. I think we can get a 5-minute presentation from you. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, if you want the staff to bring up, you can tell us the name and your address, but then we can bring up the material first before you make the presentation. Yeah?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Just to introduce myself, I am Amber Stewart. I'm the lawyer for the owners who are here with me today as well, and the agent for construction. Mm-hmm. Do you want my address as well for the record?
Yes,
okay.
For the record, yeah.
62 Sunvale Drive, Toronto, Ontario, M9R1Z3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you very much. And if we did submit a slide presentation, yes. I think that's what I'll refer to unless there are questions. And if we could
No, it's okay. Let's stop the clock and bring up the material first, and then we start, okay? Do we have it? Yeah, no. Okay. Is this material?
Yes, that is the one. And if we could start on page 3 of this, so slide 3, which is called, yes, that's the one. Thank you.
Let's go, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think I'll start, I know it was confusing to hear at the outset when you described the nature of this application. City staff have evaluated this as one apartment building that spans 3 lots. Mm-hmm. So that's frankly where a number of the variances arise, because it has been classified as an apartment building. What it actually is functionally is 3 attached buildings that look more like a multiplex. There are 6 units in each of the north and the south building, and 4 units in the middle building. And the 2 outside lots will have a garden suite with 1 unit each. So there's a total of 18 rental apartment units proposed.
Okay.
When I say it is more like a multiplex and less like an apartment building, it is because it is 3 stories, no height variances proposed, and each of the units has a direct entrance to grade. Mm-hmm. So there's no common interior hallways or amenity space that would be more typical for an apartment building. Okay. So on this page, you'll see a summary of the land use planning context. I think it's just relevant to note that the site is located within 2 protected major transit station areas, one of which has been approved, one of which has been partly deferred as of August the 15th, actually. And when those are implemented, it will relate to some of the variances being removed, and it will also actually authorize a 6-story apartment building when they are ultimately implemented. The next slide I would go to is number 4, which is just a brief summary of the circulation comments. I wanted to highlight right from the outset that my clients have worked with all of the applicable department and agencies, or have tried to, and planning has reviewed the proposal and has no concerns with the built form or with the variances with the nature of the proposal. You will also see that the neighbors were canvassed, and I know that there were a number of support letters. The last I checked, I believe it was 11 support letters, and we are aware of one opposition letter which we can address and reply after the neighbors speak. The next slide is number 5, which I would ask to turn to. And this is just, on the left-hand side, you'll see photos of the existing property condition. On the right, you'll see renderings of the proposal from both the front and the rear. I think it's worth noting that the property, when it was purchased by my clients, was left really in derelict condition. So there's 2 semi-detached houses which will need to come down. And the other thing of note is that abutting to the rear of the property is a car dealership on Broadview. So there's no residential neighbors to the rear. The next slide, slide 6, has a summary of area context and notable buildings. And I think what I would just point out, clearly in this very urban pocket, there are a number of apartment buildings and apartment buildings are permitted, frankly, within this zone. There's also a number of more dense townhouse developments, including, if you look at the top 2 photos on the left-hand side, the 3-story garden suite and the townhouse development, that's immediately adjacent to the property itself. I can see how quickly I'm going to run out of time. I'd appreciate if I could have an extra minute or 2 given the complicated nature, but
Let's try first, because we have to keep the rule, otherwise it will be unfair. That's the only thing. Yeah.
So on slide 9, I think what's really the most fundamental thing to note here is that this is not a proposal to create new lots. These lots were already created through a consent application in 2020. So there are 3 existing legal lots today. What is proposed is to, I'll call it reconfigure or adjust the lot lines so that 2 things can be achieved. One, that feasible garden suites can be built. We could do 3 garden suites at the rear as of right, but it just wouldn't be feasible due to the nature of the lots. So now 2 reasonable garden suites can be built at the rear. And it's also to allow for pedestrian access and emergency access to the rear, and in fact to increase the side yard setbacks from what was previously approved. The proposed site plan is on slide 10. You will see that there are a number of easements that are proposed to be conveyed. Essentially, what those easements relate to is to provide for pedestrian and emergency access along the north side, to the rear, and along the middle of the 2 garden suites, so that the proposed garbage area can be accessed by everyone. So it just provides pedestrian and emergency access for all. And you'll see that the walkways are building code compliant.
So your 5 minutes up, but I let you make a summation of the summary.
So I think so I think to summarize, we've included a number of slides that address all of the variances in totality and cumulatively. The frontage variances are just a very minor adjustment to the existing lot frontages. They're found well within the range of what exists. In fact, they're within the majority of what exists in the area. With respect to the remaining built form variances, they are all within the range of what exists and what has been approved. And frankly, a number of those variances wouldn't be required at all if they were evaluated as multiplex dwellings or houseplex dwellings as opposed to a single apartment building. The last thing that I think I should refer to is on slide 11 and 12. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick look at that, those slides show the as-of-right massing as compared to the proposed massing for the site. And you can see that the built form that has been designed here is really intended to make this, in fact, less impactful and less obvious from the streetscape and less voluminous, that's a better word, than what could actually be built as of right.
Thank you very much. You will have opportunity to tell us more after we hear the other people.
Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any at this point.
Are we going to ask them question now, or are we going to hear the other people, opposition first? Yeah.
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair, there is a report from Urban Forestry. Is that a question that, yeah.
I think
yes.
that's an important one.
Oh, you can ask the
I
question.
think just because it's
Yes, please.
pretty
Please go
fundamental
ahead,
to
yeah.
the application. Urban Forestry, as you know, has a denial request. Can you speak to that?
I sure can. Thank you for the opportunity. And through you, Madam Chair. So I can tell you that, in fact, the arborist who prepared the arborist report, Peter Winnichuk, he is a very senior and experienced arborist that I have personally worked with on numerous occasions. He's very well respected. Mr. Winnichuk has identified the trees that are in question, and I think the sum conclusion here is that the trees are going to be preserved. There's 2 city trees in front of the site and 1 neighboring tree adjacent to the rear of the site. Mr. Winnichuk has indicated that the trees at the front can be protected, and specifically with respect to those trees, Urban Forestry's comment memorandum seems to suggest or seems to infer that there will be greater impact and loss of viable planting space as a result of the severance and the minor variance applications, and it's simply not, it's just not accurate. Because with respect to the severance, as I've indicated, the 3 lots already exist. When they are developed, which they can be as of right under previous approvals, servicing will have to go to those 3 lots. And the front yard setback that is currently existing on the subject dwellings, like what's on site today, is going to be increased so that the new building or buildings will be moved further away from those trees. So I think respectfully, the impact to the front trees is minimal and will likely be improved through this construction. With respect to the rear tree, Mr. Winnichuk has identified that there is a possibility that there could be roots. He's recommended a root exploration and provided a solution to remove a portion of the basement and construct the rear garden suite on helical piers. Now again, that garden suite could also be built as of right on the existing lot. It would just be smaller, but it would still be in the same spot. So my clients have tried to get in touch with Urban Forestry, both at the time of submitting the application and through submission of the arborist report. There is a new updated letter from Mr. Winnichuk once we got Urban Forestry's report that has been submitted, and he's responded to their comments. I can only tell you that we have received no response from Urban Forestry, including even from an in-person visit. My clients went to City Hall to try and talk to them directly, and there was no one there, and nobody has responded. So it's very difficult to resolve their concerns when we can't get in touch with them before the hearing. I am confident, Mr. Winnichuk is confident, that their concerns will be resolvable through the permitting process, and of course, as you're well aware, I know, imposing the conditions that they have requested in the alternative will ensure that their concerns are vetted and appropriately addressed through the permitting process. Yes. So I hope that is sufficient to answer the question.
We have more
than sufficient. Okay.
No, we have more questions. No,
okay.
Clarification on that issue. So the current houses, do they have basements?
I don't know the answer to that. Yes, they do.
So in fact, they already are blocking the roots of those trees.
That's right. Oh yeah, and that is addressed in Mr. Winnichuk's report. I'm remembering that now.
And so what you're going to do is you're actually going to take out that basement and actually move it further back.
That's correct.
So those trees will actually have more space for roots.
Absolutely. That's correct.
Great. In terms of the rear one, you said that you might build in helical piles, but those garden suites, your plans really depend on a certain amount of a basement space. So would that mean that the garden suite, I guess, on the north garden suite would be a little bit, the basement would be a little bit smaller?
That's it. That's what it would be. And frankly, even if that basement were removed, which I don't think would be necessary through the permitting process, but even if it were removed, it would just result in a 1-story garden suite. So it would be a bachelor unit instead of a 2-bedroom unit or a 1-bedroom unit. But that can be addressed during the.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's also, I don't know whether it's a question or it's just a comment on the Urban Forestry report number 2. They did say that if it's been approved, there are 2 conditions. Both of them are asking you to submit a complete applications anyway, so you have to satisfy the Urban Forest despite whether we approve.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, I mean, our arborist has opined that there is going to be a way to deal with this, including in his responding report. So he's reviewed the comments and indicated that he's confident these concerns can be addressed.
It's good to ask this question. So are we ready to hear the oppositions now? Okay.
Yes.
Please, yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, there are a couple of people here in person. One by one, come up to the podium.
I think do you have to move to the right.
No, he's fine there.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's in camera.
okay.
Hi, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Stafford Yu at 22 Lewis Street. So basically, I'm the next door neighbor for the new development. So I guess I want to make it quick. I'm not going to question too much about density, all those stuff. So our biggest concern is the driveway between our building and their new building. So on the site plan, what I can read is confusing. So I only see a number that's 112 meter, which currently is a 2.5 meter wide driveway for us to access our backyard garages. So I already talked to the other side offline, and they explained to me the drawing kind of mean that it's from their building to the lot line, which I kind of want to just see a clear indication that that's the case, right? So it's not measuring from building to building.
We can get the applicant to respond to.
Yeah, I already
after everybody's spoken, they will come and respond.
So yeah, that's our biggest concern. And also, while they're doing the construction, the damages that will be done to the driveway, that needs to be addressed. And other than that, I think we are okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair. Can you state your name again? I missed.
Stafford Yu.
Okay.
Stafford Yu.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Your number 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next speaker, please.
Hi, Madam Chair. My name is Sheila Hughes, and I live at 30 Lewis Street.
18?
30.
30.
30 Lewis Street. And my main concern is my backyard privacy. I have a 130-foot lot, and I enjoy my backyard. And I would like to not have windows or decks looking over into my property. And also just the light that is going to be removed from a large building taking up the entire lot. I'm not happy about that. And I'm also very concerned about the parking on our street. We have already no parking. And to add 18 units is a lot of people. So that is another concern of mine.
The overlook is your main concern, and the parking condition.
Parking on our street, yeah,
maybe worse.
It's really bad now. I drive around trying to find parking every day, and I have to move to other streets. And then, yes, my privacy is a big concern because I have 13 feet in between. The lot next to me is about 13 feet wide, and then that's the next building is their proposed building, which would be overlooking my whole backyard and my privacy, and is a big one. And just taking away the light that will be affected from a three-story building overlooking my backyard.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you are one house in between that.
Yes.
28 and you're 30. You're on the north side. Okay.
Yeah.
So you worry about the new development will have the north-facing balcony might overlook your yard, right?
Yeah, and there's windows. I've seen the plans. The windows that will overlook my backyard too.
Oh. Yeah, there's north-facing windows. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
North-facing. Thank you. Anything? I would add the things that might impact you.
Other than that, the construction. There's already a lot of construction in our neighborhood just because of the Metrolinks going in, and parking.
That's a big one, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We get the applicant to respond to your concern. Yeah.
Okay.
Question.
Okay. Oh, you have
so
questions?
Did you have an opportunity to discuss those concerns, your concerns with?
Yeah, they came,
applicant?
they canvassed and talked to me. I spoke to them. You know, I just didn't, I was away and I didn't have time to get my questions submitted or my issues submitted before today.
That's fine. I will bring them back, and then I think they will respond to them as best they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. We have more speakers? Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, I believe that's all the speakers.
Okay, so, all right, let's bring back the agent, and you have, yeah, first of all, please respond to the concern first, or the issue they raised, and then we might have further questions on our own, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair. So I think that, honestly, I cannot see that far, but I think that's the site plan on the screen. So hopefully it is. With respect to Mr. Yu, the neighbor to the south, we did have an opportunity to discuss his clarification concerns beforehand. And I think I hope it's clear. I think Mr. Yu was concerned that there would in fact be a reduction of the size of that driveway on his north property line. And it's not the case. This really just arises from the location on the site plan where the dimension is shown. It's today 2.45, we'll just call it 2.45 to 2.47 meters on his north side yard setback. And then there's a little over 0.6 meters on the south side yard setback of number 24, the existing house on the south lot. So we are actually increasing that separation distance. He obviously will maintain the 2.47 meters on his side, and then there will be 1.2 meters. So we're almost doubling the side yard setback on the south side of the south lot. And then I know he mentioned concern about damage to the driveway. That's obviously a construction-related issue, but my clients will be more than happy to work with him to ensure that there is no damage and to have a private discussion or private agreement to that effect.
You have to pay road deposit and road damage deposit anyway, right? So
For the road, yes. For the driveway, typically construction is contained onto the property itself, so it shouldn't cause any damage. But obviously, if something does happen, or there could be an agreement. But if something were to happen during construction, then yes, they'd have an obligation to repair it.
Yes.
So with respect to Ms. Hughes, I do want to note that Ms. Hughes lives at number 30 Lewis, so she's actually 2 properties to the north. She's not immediately adjacent to the north.
Oh, yeah.
With respect to the plans on those sides, those plans are number 26B Lewis. The buildings have been designed in a way to mitigate and minimize any privacy impacts. At the ground floor, I don't think ground floor is going to present any privacy or overlook concern. At the second floor, there is one very small kitchen window that could potentially, from a distance over 2 properties, have overlook into her rear yard. And then on the third floor, there are only primary windows, there are no primary windows, so only bedroom windows on that north wall, and they are positioned well back from the rear of the building. So they shouldn't have any direct overlook at all. There is one projecting balcony. 2 projecting balconies, but, or is there, you know what?
Second floor.
There's only one. There's only one. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the plans. There's only one projecting balcony, and we wouldn't have any concern at all with a condition requiring privacy screens to be installed on the sides if that would be of assistance.
Yes.
So I do understand the concerns, but I think these are the type of concerns that one reasonably has to expect, and we do what we can to mitigate them in this type of an urban context. With respect to the parking, we did actually review the visitor parking map, or the street parking map, I apologize, as it is available from transportation, and that map at least does indicate that there are still permit parking spots available within this district. So I don't anticipate that being an issue, but again, we're in a context where automobile dependency is being strongly discouraged, and new housing without without parking requirements is the reality that we are facing. And as I said earlier, when the PMTSA is implemented, that has been recently approved, there will be no parking requirements at all. So I don't believe that's a planning issue really at this point in time. So I think that responds to the concerns that were raised, but if there are any questions, I'm happy to address.
Oh, I just want to clarify, you said that only one balcony is on the second floor. I see each slot or whatever, which lot has one. So she's just most concerned about on the 26B, the one that at the north lot. That's the one that might overlook her backyard. So on the north edge, you're going to put privacy screen on that, right?
We'd be happy to do that. And just so that I'm clarifying, yes, there's certainly one at each building. I just wanted to be clear that there is not one at each level. Yeah. So there's not a projecting balcony on the third floor.
But do you think that we need to, that the other two will still have an overlook possibility to her yard?
I mean, it is possible, but again,
maybe we should.
It's at a distance where, as one moves further away and not at a very elevated point, there's really, if there is any overlook, it's very indirect. But again, we don't have concerns with putting the privacy screens.
Thank you. Okay, I think you have addressed the three issues. We may still have questions for you.
Yeah, just a few questions. So in terms of parking, obviously bicycles are an alternative. Can you just go over, I know that because of the site constraints, you can't sort of fulfill technically the bike parking, but can you just go over the bike parking that you're providing and how that
I can.
relates to the number of units?
Absolutely. So the number is going to escape me at the moment. So my friend here might be able to help me with the number. But what I can tell you, there are 18 in total. Okay, thank you. So there are 18 bicycle parking spaces that are going to be provided. It's just a question of where they're located and how they're classified. So some of them, they've been shown as being located within the city boulevard, which is something that has been reviewed and discussed with transportation and is acceptable. Yeah, that's okay. 18 at the, thank you for the clarification. 18 at the front, and then 4 in the rear, which are located obviously on the site.
Yes.
So the number of bicycle parking spaces that is being provided meets the bylaw requirements. It's just the location that doesn't. And as you've said through you, Madam Chair, it's absolutely a correct observation that the site constraints prevent those spaces from being.
Will they be protected at all, or are they just going to be kind of a ring that people can walk to?
In terms of, they're not going to be enclosed, if that's what you mean. Yeah. And that is a requirement that applies to an apartment building. And again, it's a constraint, it's a challenge when you have a small
multiplexes don't have that requirement.
No, and it's a challenge on a small site because it would have to be inside a common interior space, but we don't have that because it's not really an apartment building.
Sorry. It's good to hear you're providing the 22 bike parking spaces, but of course, what you can do on the city boulevards are those all considered to be just short term, right? You're still very short of long terms, because long term have to be shelter or something. I don't think you can build a structure on city boulevard to do that.
No, it's not. And it's not feasible in any event.
Exactly. So those are all considered to be short term. That's what I'm trying to clarify. Right?
That's right.
Okay.
Realistically, we're expecting that the tenants may use them.
Well, I mean, the tenants may absolutely use them, but also, and what we've seen in other multiplex developments like this is that many people may store their bikes inside, either in a foyer or on a bike rack that hangs on a wall in the living room. That's another way we've addressed this in other sort of similar apartment building, but really multiplex development proposals where there's room inside the units for a bike to be stored.
I also want to ask, so in the middle building, there's rooms that are labeled study that are clearly bedrooms. So I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's, I suppose two things. First of all, it's not necessarily a bad thing. What it does is actually provide 2-bedroom plus den units. The reason that they are called dens and not bedrooms is because they don't have direct windows to the outside. So obviously, ultimately, how people choose to use those rooms is outside of a planning control. But what they do provide is very generously sized 2-bedroom units, which also include a den. So it's, I think, a desirable thing, and it's a function of the fact that the middle building is attached on both sides. So the windows can only be positioned at the front and the back.
I sort of wanted to ask why, given that you're already changing the severances already, why not just get rid of that middle building and build 2 semi-detached?
Well, I would say because of the number of units. If it were 2 semi-detached buildings, that I think it would prevent the number of units that is ultimately being proposed here, and being able to accommodate this number of units, including that number of family-sized units. It's a desirable thing. It's a positive.
Yeah, they will trigger different sets of variances.
No, but I think it's a reasonable question, right?
Oh, yeah,
Because
it
you have
is.
a rather awkward central thing. You could do, you could do much more generous units if you just had a semi.
Exactly, yeah.
So, you know, I think it's worth asking.
Yes.
Especially since we're already making some consent changes.
Okay. Any more questions, please? Yes, please. Yeah.
Regarding variance number 13, the size of the ancillary building. So in case you were to build it as permitted, 40%, it would have been, bachelor suite, right? As you've stated, you wouldn't be able to provide a bigger, like 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom garden suite.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to. Did you finish your question? Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So there is, in the slide presentation, there is a slide that sort of explains this very technical variance, and it's on slide 19. It's actually the very last page of this, or sorry, second last page of the slides. One more page forward, I think. Yep, that's the one. So if you can zoom on that photo a little, or the image, that explains the reason the variance is required. And so my understanding is that the way the examiners have calculated this is that it's not 40% of the entirety of the rear yard, but rather 40% of the area if you extend the side lot line straight to the rear. So if you see if you see the 2 shaded yellow rectangles, or 1 shaded yellow rectangle, that portion of the actual backyard is being excluded from the calculation for coverage. So it's making the coverage inflated. And this is a function of the fact that the lots are irregular. So if they were regular lots, you would include all of that area at the rear, and the garden suite coverage would be, we've put that number in there, it would be 40.41%. So it would be almost compliant, just less than 1% off of what the bylaw permits. So this is one of those situations where applying the bylaw strictly does lead to a bit of a consequence that isn't consistent with the bylaw's intent. The bylaw's intent is that 40% of the rear yard area can be used for a garden suite. But to answer your question directly, yes, if it were to comply, it would certainly remove a portion of the area that I don't think you'd be able to maintain them as 2-bedroom garden suites, no.
I see. Any other questions? Okay, so we don't have any more questions. Now we're in committee.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I'll turn the mic off.
Okay, I can start. Actually, after all this observation or the study of the proposal, actually, I think this is a very good proposal, in my opinion. And the fact that I like to see also they make the garden suite so 1 story. And because it's a very tight lot after they developed this, the main building. And I think these units are actually quite good size, comfortable, and the quality of the units is good. And then well, overall, I think this is a well-planned proposal. Yeah. Yes.
I think there's a lot to like about it. I think the garden suites are really great. Like, I love the way that they've been sunk a little bit so that their impact is low, but they still provide a lot of space. I think the garden suite designs are really, really great. The buildings are really very deep, but this is a really unusual area with a lot of different buildings. I don't think that's out of character for the area, so I think that's acceptable. I do feel like the middle, I think it would have been better to have semi-detached. I don't think those middle spaces are very good. There's clearly going to be uses as bedrooms that aren't really supposed to be allowed by building code. And I think that you could have created maybe slightly fewer spaces, but with more open space. But overall, I think it does. Overall, I think it's appropriate for the area. I don't think. I think that the proponent really addressed the tree issue very well. That was definitely a concern, and I really appreciate that you kind of address that very clearly. We don't usually like to go against forestry, but I think you've made a convincing case that it can be managed, and in some ways it may actually be better for the trees. So I think overall, and in this location, I'm familiar with this area. It's the houses are really small, the lots are really small. This really fits very well within that space. And there's a lot. Also, I like the patios at the top. It's a nice little touch.
It can compensate.
Yeah.
Especially the middle. You're absolutely right. Those middle units.
And doing that without actually having a height variance, I think, is great. Like, it's really nicely designed. So I think that there's although I have some reservations about some aspects of it, I think overall it's really well thought out and supportable.
Yeah. Yes, please. Any other comments?
Just raise a concern, and I heard about the arborist and the talks with urban forestry, where I think the applicant hasn't resolved the issues with urban forestry because of the communication issues. Maybe it's better to wait until those issues are resolved, and then we can proceed with the application, because we don't.
I would agree, except that it seems like forestry simply. We had this in
they
an
have
earlier
the
one
second
too.
report.
Forestry won't really communicate until after we've actually made a decision.
Yes.
I wish they would.
Yeah.
But we've had this before where forestry is just like, won't actually engage with the applicant until we have made a decision.
Yes, I remember similar cases like that.
Yeah.
And that's why they put in those two conditions.
Yeah, and with the condition, forestry can still, if forestry refuses a condition, they still.
I think you have to speak into the mic so other people.
Oh, yeah, sorry, if forestry refuses, I think they still can't. If forestry doesn't accept the permit, doesn't give a permit, they still can't.
They still cannot get a permit, yeah. They have to.
Well, through you, Madam Chair, if you're going to impose the two conditions, then urban forestry has to sign off on those two conditions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Permits can be issued.
Yeah, so it's still, forestry still has to sign off on it. So,
Peter, any comment, or we have a motion? Yeah. If anyone want to make a motion, there are also other conditions, transportation and TLC.
A lot of conditions.
Yeah. The transportations have got about the bike parking they have to apply for. There are a couple of conditions from them, and also the urban forestry conditions, the second report, the two conditions for each.
Transportation, I think, is just an advisory, right?
Advisory, but then they said that, I saw that, but then they say must. I do not see how it's a contradiction. They say in the sentences that they must contact the can bring up the communication.
Right. What's the communication from forest?
Yeah.
Sorry, from transportation.
Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, it does say transportation review advisory comment, and typically we don't impose advisory comments.
Yeah, but it seems that the sentence.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's
the
kind of-
applicant will have to contact transportation about any encroachments into the right of way.
I think that just, it becomes automatic with the building.
Automatic, okay, so it's right. Oh, but then.
We don't need to do a condition because it's going to happen.
And then the privacy screen on the second floor balcony north edge. I think we should apply to all the units. Just in case.
I don't think so. I think we only need it on the far north.
I thought that maybe the unit themselves need some kind of privacy.
Well, I think we, I don't think.
Leave it.
I think that's up to the applicant and
Okay.
designer to decide what
now-
they think that the,
So we only put it on the 26B, the most northern lot. So, okay, those are the conditions. You will have a motion to approve.
Okay. I think you said the motion. No, I haven't made the motion, so.
Yeah,
No.
we will
So
going to make a motion.
I'll make a
that's
motion. I will make a motion to approve these variances with the engineering conditions, with forestry condition number 1 for each of them, I believe.
Through you, Madam Chair, sorry, 26B, it's number 1 and 2.
Yes.
Oh, 26B is 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that. Okay, 26, so 1 and 2, forestry conditions 1 and 2 for 26B, and forestry condition 1 for 26.
24 and 26.
24 and 26, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
The Metrolinx warning clause, I believe, all of them. And with privacy screens on the second floor balcony, on the north side of the second floor balcony of 26B.
Yeah, at 1.5 meter from the floor of the balcony, yeah.
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair, it's a, oh no, I do see it, sorry.
Yeah.
The warning clause for Metrolinx?
I said I did include that, yes.
Yeah. We haven't missed anything out, right?
I think that's everything.
So we have a motion. I would like to support that motion. Peter will support. And with all these conditions, do we have any engineering?
Yeah, I included that.
And you included all those,
Specified
yeah. So as long as you got all those conditions, so are all in favor with all the conditions to? Ms. Robert, your dissent? I can't see your hand, that's all.
I dissent.
Yeah, so it's 3-1 approve. 3-1, what is that? Approve, and Ms. Robert dissent. Okay, now I'm done. So thank you, it's approved, thank you, yeah.
Perhaps we can have a brief break before we do.
Yeah, we're
Madam
going
Chair,
to.
maybe 10 minutes?
5 minutes should be fine.
5 minutes?
5 minutes? Okay.
Please turn off your videos, microphones.
Okay. We resume. The next, okay, sorry. 17's been deferred. And then the next item is 53 Sullivan Street. Sorry. The purpose for this application is to alter the existing three-story townhouse dwelling by constructing a two-story auxiliary building which will contain a garden suite. In the rear yard abutting the laneway and fronting Huron Street, there will be a total of 3 residential dwelling units, 2 units within the main building and 1 within the auxiliary building on this lot. The existing attached garage will be demolished. We received minutes from the May 15, 2024 public hearing. And we also have a survey, a revised site plan, floor plans and elevations, a cover letter from the agent. We also received comment from community planning and also transportation services. And we also received a staff report from Metrolink. Oppositions we received from Phoebe Street 54 and 46 and 54 Phoebe. And that's all the material we have received on this item, and they are asking for 3 variances. We are ready for the agent now. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online and 1 registered speaker in opposition.
In opposition, okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, the
Yes.
committee members.
Can you tell us your name and address? And you do have opposition, so we require a presentation from you. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, my name is Hong Xing. I'm living in number 2 Longevity Road in Brampton. I'm the agent for this application.
Okay, so you have 5 minutes to give us a presentation. Do you need to the staff to bring up some material before you start? Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you can just start now. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we originally submitted the application, but I think around March 2024.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the application was demolished the 3 side yard garage and construct 2 units, 3-story building. So in that application, basically it would include 4 dwelling units total. We didn't really got support from the city's planning department, and they proposed deferral so we can discuss with them. We requested deferral, I believe it's around May 2024, and the deferral was granted by the committee. So after that, we spent several months with go back and forth with the community planner several times, and they proposed us to develop a laneway suite instead of connecting the instead of connecting the new portion to the existing portion, so that we can have a separation between the laneway space, laneway suite, and the front building, so that we can provide more soft landscaping. And they also propose to plant additional trees and green roof, so we can beautify that corner area. Because in their opinion, this area is kind of covered by 3 detached garage. We need to do a little bit more green space to make that area kind of better. So basically, but to do that, we need 3 minor variances. The first one basically related to the rear yard setback, 0.2 meters. More or less, that's the existing condition. That's why we propose that way. I noticed the comment from the transportation department or the engineer department anyway. So they wanted a 1.0 meter. In that case, this minor variance may not be necessary. Okay, the second variance is really the side yard setback, 0 meters. That's the existing condition. If you look at the site plan, you will see that's the existing condition. We didn't really basically there's no change compared to the current situation. The next variance is regarding the height of the laneway suite. So the footprint of the laneway suite actually is kind of fairly small. It's kind of not economical to do any construction if we cannot really do 2 stories. To facilitate that 2 stories, basically, we would request 6.93 meters height for the laneway suite. So yeah, that's my presentation for now.
I think I do have a question before you listen the opposition. Did you mention the transportations asked you to have the 1 meter setback from? But that's the condition they're asking you to do. On their report is from on the south side 1 meter setback. But you were saying that they said it's not necessary, so the report is outdated.
No. What I'm saying, if we have to comply with this requirement, then that rear yard setback 0.2 meter would not be required because if we have 1 meter, basically that's zoning bylaw requirement, right?
I don't understand. They asking you from the south side, which is the laneway side, on the report, right?
Yeah, in the report, yeah, we are okay.
Okay, someone on the panel.
I think he's saying that if he meets the transportation condition number 1, then they would no longer need variance number 1, because that would be.
Oh, that's what is, okay, I didn't hear
setback.
I think that is not necessary. I only hear not necessary. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think we would also need to rephrase some of the other variances, though, because if we move the whole thing closer to the other building, the distance from the main building changes.
Maybe they just make it smaller, or they're going to shift the building?
They're going to, well, transportation is saying shift the building.
Shift the building. Okay, we can ask him. What
so I think we'd need to figure that out. But I think that's something we might be able to do.
But we do not have any plan to indicate the shifting, though. I don't know, unless they have revised plan here.
No. I think that they don't have any plans with the shift.
Whether it's been shift or whether it's been reduced, we do not know, because then it will make it will change the distance from the main house to the main house, the main wall of the main house. Yeah, if they're shifting. So I do not know what he's going to do. Then if he's going to just shift it, I think we have to defer this.
I was going to say, why don't we listen to the next speaker and see what they have to say, and then we can discuss.
Yeah, regarding the comment from the transportation department, basically it requires 1 meter setback, and the 4 meters there. Yeah, the reason we put the 4 meters there because there was a new provincial policy there, basically. The kind of thing, if you have 4 meters, basically it would be okay. So I think in this case, we are willing to reduce the building length a little bit, and then we don't really kind of change the separation between the front building as the new laneway street, so we can provide more green space per the comment from the city planning department.
But in that case, you have to submit a revised plan to illustrate that, because then it means that your garden suite will be smaller and it shows the setback, and we don't have drawings to indicate that. I think that's the issue here. We need revised drawings to show that.
But if they just shrink the suite, that doesn't affect any of the variances, so we could still allow it. With the condition, and then it's up to them.
But then the drawings are not accurate then, right? Because in the drawings or plans on the garden suite, or the laneway suite, we have dimensions, right? That will have to be revised. That's why I'm saying.
That's okay. Isn't that okay? I mean, we give them the structure, and then they'll have to make the revisions, but that's not something that's within the variances that we're discussing.
So the site plan is outdated too, right? It doesn't show the setback.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to tie it to the site plan. They can change it.
I don't know.
Planning's asking for it to be tied to site plan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yes. I forgot about that. So we have two contradictory.
Yeah, so I think
Oh, yeah, okay,
Through you,
good
Madam
point.
Chair, you don't have to impose that condition.
Leave that one.
You could leave that one out.
Yeah, I mean, if the only change is, anyway, we're kind of discussing.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, okay, let's listen to the opposition first. We get back to this issue. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Sydney Martin. I'm a resident at 46 Phoebe Street, and I'm speaking on behalf of Cheyenne Bloomfield at 54 Phoebe Street as well.
Okay.
One of the initial comments, and this was provided in my comments for the last submission, is that they're misrepresenting what's happening. The current building has 4 residential units in it. So with this, adding that, there would be actually 5 units, not the 3 that they're talking about. So that's of concern. Like I feel like their submission should actually represent the existing condition, not misrepresent what's there.
Yeah, we can get the agent to answer that. Yeah, okay.
And then secondly, the setback, which the city has talked about and we were just discussing, currently it's very tight at that. It's a pinch point. So without that setback, it would be incredibly difficult to live through any construction, because I don't know how they would possibly do that without blocking the entire lane. But one of the biggest concerns is the height of the building, which is, approximately 3 meters higher than what is actually allowed. So that's almost double the height of what is allowed. They currently have an approved building permit for a 1-story unit on that site. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know why they don't proceed with that. They keep resubmitting things, and the issues that were brought up in their previous submissions that were variances are weirdly not, like, they don't repeat them in this. Do you know what I mean? Like, This talks about new variances, but it doesn't address the ones like the maximum permitted building depth, which this one would be 31.6 meters rather than the 17 meters. This was from a previous submission, the city planning report. There's also the floor space index, where this is, almost 2.5 times what the 1.0 floor space index is. There's just a number of issues that are not being addressed. And I appreciate the city comments regarding landscape and planting of trees, because another issue here is that the entire property essentially is paved and they park cars everywhere, including the front. There is, one parallel car permitted by a city bylaw. And they, it's just not adhered to. So I have very little faith that this will continue. And I think considering the interior of the building, the existing building, they say there's 2 units and there's actually 4. I have trouble believing that this will be one unit rather than actually two.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any question to this speaker first? Yeah.
Can I just, I just wanted to address her concern about the length and the floor space index. The reason is probably because this is now two separate buildings. So
Okay.
Originally the thing was one huge building, and then that triggered the extraordinary length or depth and FSI. But now that it's two separate buildings, they're being judged separately. So that probably doesn't apply. That's probably the reason for that.
Okay, thank you. So any more questions to this? Okay, let's bring back the agent to respond to the issue raised by this speaker. It's the only speaker, right?
Yes, I heard the comment from the neighbor. So regarding that 4 unit comment there for the front portion of the building, actually that's not what the information I obtained. So what happened actually, we submitted the original application around March 2024, and I was returned by the client around January 2024. At that time, they provide me a city-approved building permit. That permit number, let me check. Yeah, that permit number actually fairly. It's a 23-123-924. So that one was approved based for the, obvious, that's for the main building, right? So that building permit was approved around March 29th, 2023. So at that time, I look at the building permit drawings. I also look at the site condition. So basically, it's generally in conformity. They don't really kind of contradict to each other. And that's why I prepared this drawing based on the approved building permit drawing. And also at that time, I checked the condition on site. So, and because that was existing condition at that time, so we basically, if you look at our existing floor plans and the proposed floor plans, we have cross hatch for the front portion. Basically, there's no change for this portion, and the city will kind of, even when you submit a building permit, they will review this way. And when if we got a building permit to do the construction, the city inspector will review the conditions, see if the kind of that's true or not. If not true, basically they have to order the owner to do something, right? So the other point, I'm not quite sure when. I mean, if it's really the change here, I'm not quite sure when this happened. I mean, I'm not quite sure. In that case, the owner actually, not the owner, the neighbor actually could call 311 or the city, the department thing. You know, you have 4 units there. It's fairly different from what I heard in this COA application. The city probably need to check these conditions instead of complaining here. Yeah, basically, I cannot really answer the neighbor's question definitely, but what I could say actually, I got the building permit drawing given to me by the owner. At that time, I double-checked the conditions there, and that's what I did actually.
Yes, thank you. Any question to the applicant now from us? Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm So in terms of the transportation condition, you're okay if we impose that condition, and your plan would be to simply make the laneway suite slightly smaller. Is that correct?
Yes, we are okay with that. Because I look at the floor plan, I think we can still make that work, just reduce the dimension a little bit. I think it will still function.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then in terms of the planning conditions, we might, because of the transportation condition, we might not impose the first one, but you're okay with the other planning conditions that relate to the landscaping and trees, I take it?
Yeah, that's a discussion I had with them, go back and forth. I think we are totally okay with that conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, question, yeah?
Thanks. Just following up from Dylan's point, and you mentioned it before, just for clarity, do you want to remove variance number 1 because you're going to be meeting that?
Yeah, I mean, you can either do that or put the condition. In that case, basically, we have to put a 1 meter setback anyway. So it's, I kind of like leave this to you. And if you see it's not, basically, you could kind of remove that one or put the condition. Either way, we are okay.
Yeah, if we're going to go, we're putting on the, but then I have some comment before we make that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any question to this to the applicant first? So, okay, we don't have any more questions. Now we are in committee. Let me just carry on with following that, because I thought that when I look at the location plan, the aerial plan, it seems that makes sense that for the transportation to ask for that setback, because they are the only building that actually is the laneway is come up tight to the laneway. And I thought it makes sense, but because on Huron Street, where this laneway street is, Huron Street, the other abutting street, the Huron Street, the other houses are fixed. They cannot move, right? But when I look at the Google image, it's actually, there's an existing garage where the laneway street, that end will be. It seems that it is existing quite old. It's exactly where they're proposing now. So it's been a condition for a very long time that with 3 meter lane. And also there's a hydro pole right there. I do not know that it makes sense to give that condition, ask everything to be moved back a meter. I'm not too sure. I throw it out to you.
I think that I've seen this before. I think transportation is taking advantage of this opportunity to
widening the laneway. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed that the existing condition, but it makes sense to me that if they're going to be demolishing that garage, that this is an opportunity to widen that.
But that's a big hydro pole, though.
The hydro poles can get moved.
Yeah, I know, but it takes a lot of effort. I know it's a long process. And
you know, transportation is playing the long game with these laneway suite. Like, whenever we see transportation taking a little bit of extra, and that's only for one property, and there's many other properties.
Yeah, I just raised the issue is not as simple as just have a setback. They have to move the hydro poles.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you mean.
Yeah, and the brick building is been there for a long time. I just want to say that, but it is not so.
At the same time, like, you know, hopefully, maybe after they've rebuilt the thing, then hydro can move the pole at some point too. I'm sure transportation would love them to do that, so we can leave that to transportation and hydro to work out.
Yeah.
Once that situation.
No, it's the owner. The transportation will never pay for the hydro pole to be relocated. I'm absolutely sure.
Anyway, I feel like it. Like, if we do rebuild the laneway suite exactly there, then it can never get fixed. Whereas if they move it a little bit, then in the future there could be a.
Okay. Yeah, that's my it's a complication here. That's okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fair to request the meter change, the meter setback. just because it is a real pinch point. Now,
Yes,
I think
yeah.
that for
That's the only
general
part.
safety, but also for the safety of that laneway suite itself, like getting hit by garbage trucks or whatever, right? Like, I think this is, makes sense, and whatever happens with the pole down the line is a separate story.
Yeah, so all right, so
I would
I just wanted to point out it's a bigger job than it's a setback.
I just want to touch on variance number 3.
You're asking?
So the setbacks here we've talked about, but it's almost 3 meters higher than the permitted, and like it's to me it's a major variance. Looking at the actual site. I don't think, it doesn't, because it's a corner lot and it's a laneway, it might be okay because, again, there is no, immediate issues of overlooking or privacy, but we've heard the concerns, right, of the neighbors' concerns. So
the neighbor is...
I'm kind of struggling with that because normally I would, I wouldn't support that, but in this particular case, maybe, but that's, I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I have thoughts on that too. I mean, again, normally I would have concerns with that, but essentially this will present as another house on the row, right? So there's a whole series of houses.
Houses, yeah, that's
This will simply present as another house on the row. So I think it presents fine.
Yes.
Because of specifically, it's a corner lot, and there are a whole series of houses like just south of it, and it will simply look like another house. So to me, in this specific instance, it's okay, whereas I agree with you, and if it was in the middle of a block, it would be a serious problem.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Dylan. The other thing too is that the last portion, the rear portion of the main house is just a one-story portion too. So it's not like it's a 3-story, right? So it steps down, so I think there'll be less conflict between those structures because it's limited to 1 story.
Yeah, I see, yeah. I mean, just across the laneway is actually row of houses that they're all 2-story high. Yeah, yeah, you're actually, the context is different in this way, yeah. Okay.
Very specific conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, we sound like we do have some good ideas here. So we have a motion then, yeah?
Okay, so I'll make a motion to, so the approved variances as amended, having removed variance number 1. With the transportation conditions, which includes the 1 meter setback, and with planning conditions 2 to 5, I think. Planning conditions 2 to 5, but not planning condition 1, which is the, Peter, do you?
Yeah, no,
Why? If we strike variance.
Yeah, no, 1, I think we'd have to get rid of all of it.
Can I add, I think we should keep variance number 1 despite, if they give them the 1 meter setback, it's redundant, but because it's complication there, so it's removing hydropole. If it's not going to happen, they need this variance. I think that if they do not need it, they do not need it. But if they do need it, they need it, right? So we're going to impose the 1 meter setback. That's right.
Yes.
But if it does not happen, let's say because of technical problem further down, they need this variance.
Through you, Madam Chair, if they're not able to fulfill the transportation conditions, then they can't get sign-off from transportation services, which means then they have to come back to committee.
Anyway, you mean?
Right, because you've imposed those conditions. So I think you can impose the transportation conditions.
Yes.
I think you can impose conditions 2 to 5 from community planning, but we'll just cross out where they say substantially in accordance with drawing number A1.2 site plan.
Yeah, but
right? So number 2 will just say the applicant will plant vegetation and provide landscaping, including 2 new trees.
Green roof and
between the blah, 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 yeah, but not refer to the actual site plan that it's shown on, okay?
Just being descriptive.
So we'll strike all the references to site plans?
Yes, for conditions 2 to 5.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So we're still keeping, or we delete the variance number 1?
No, we're removing it.
We're removing
Yeah,
it,
the
right?
applicant
Okay.
has removed that variance, so it's approved as amended. And then the conditions would be the 2 transportation conditions and then the 4 community planning conditions.
Okay, as amended.
But omitting the reference to the site plan.
Omitting a reference to
Yeah.
the site plan.
Okay. Oh, so that's what,
Yeah.
that's clear, right?
Thanks, Sabrina.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think
good.
that's
It's
the,
not easy,
that's
right?
the,
So we have a second to that? Yeah, Ms. Wilbert, a second? Yeah, okay. As the amended and all the conditions, all in favor to that motion? All in favor with the amended application? Thank you. I thought it's clear, right? So the next one, item number 19 is number 9, Riverside Crescent. This is to order the existing 2-story detached dwelling by reconstructing the rear ground floor patio with a cantilever extension. We have received a survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 2 photographs of trees on the subject property, and also an arborist report and justification letter from the agent. We received a staff report from Natural Feature Protection, Urban Forestry, and we also from TRCA. We have received opposition from 7 Riverside Crescent. And that's all the things we have received on this file. And I think they are looking for 3 variances. Okay, the agent is right here, and we are ready for you.
Yes.
Through you, Madam Chair, we do have 1 speaker in person as well.
In person, they're in opposition.
Yes.
So we do require a presentation from you. 5 minutes. I think you have introduced yourself before, but please do it again for this.
Yes.
This one. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, David Eagleman, Associate and Registered Professional Planner at Design Plan Services, Inc., 87 Skyway Avenue, Suite 200. And through you, Madam Chair, I wasn't aware of the opposition letter. I didn't see it posted to the application file when I checked.
Yeah, but he's here to speak, so I guess we still require you to give a presentation. You can respond to his comment.
Clarify, I think that the opposition letter is someone different from the person.
Yeah, exactly. It's someone.
And also, I think the opposition letter was more concern.
Yeah. It's a different from different source. The opposition letter and the person here to speak. Yeah.
Yes. So through you, Madam Chair, it is a relatively simple proposal. All it is there's an existing concrete patio at the rear of the dwelling, and all we're doing is proposing to reconstruct it because it's not in great condition, and also add a small cantilevered extension to it. We've worked with TRCA for quite a while on this because the property does slope quite steeply down at the rear yard. So we had to work quite extensively with the TRCA on this. And we're actually proposing to remove certain elements that are within the erosion hazard. So there's built up areas in the rear yard existing that we're proposing to remove. And that was done in conjunction with in discussions with the TRCA in order for them to support the proposal and support the proposed extension to the cantilevered extension to the patio. So the TRCA is satisfied with the proposal as per their report that they've issued for this application, and I'm not aware of any concerns or objections from any city departments relating to this. RNFP noted that they have no concerns as well and indicated no conditions, but we do require permits from them. We're working on that. That's actually been submitted already. And the TRCA permit application has already also been submitted, and the permit should actually be issued very shortly. As I mentioned, I wasn't aware of any objections. I didn't see any letters on the file, but perhaps it was uploaded late. The variance pertaining to the east side yard setback, that's actually an improvement to the existing condition. The existing patio in the rear yard actually is at a 0 meter setback to the east side lot line. We're improving that. So the proposed variance for the east side yard setback at 0.59 meters is actually an improvement to the existing condition. And the patio will just align with essentially there's a stairwell down to the rear yard on the east side of the dwelling, and the patio is just going to align with that stairwell that comes down into the rear yard. And then the two other variances, they're effectively the same variances. I believe the examiner actually identified one of them in error because one of the requirements is when a stable top of slope is actually on the property, and the other requirement is when the stable top of slope is not on the property. And in both cases, the bylaw requires a 10 meter setback. In this case, there is a stable top of slope on the property. So I believe variance number 3 was actually identified in error, but we're seeking it here just out of an abundance of caution because that's what the examiner identified. And, you know, both of those requirements are entirely related to the TRCA's policies, their requirement for a 10 meter setback to the stable top of slope. We've worked with the TRCA, they're satisfied, so I think that speaks to the justification for those variances. And also, the existing condition is such that the house is already, and the patio is already at a 0 meter setback to the stable top of slope. The patio actually goes beyond the stable top of slope. But again, we've worked with the TRCA, they're satisfied, so I think that speaks to those two variances. So based on everything I've mentioned, all the justification provided, I believe this application is minor and meets the 4 tests under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We might have a question for you, but maybe we listen to the opposition now. You can come. We will call you back. Yeah. Thank you.
Nicholas Singh, Swansea ratepayers.
Yeah. Can you give us your address too?
95 Lavinia is these.
Okay.
Not my personal address, but the address of the association.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you have 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know your concerns. Yeah.
The association recognizes that these properties along Riverside Crescent look out over the Humber River and over the Humber Marsh, and they're very different from most of the lots in Swansea and have both a broader and immediate context that sets them apart. So we recognize that 9 Riverside Crescent is in a location that allows for greater variances of bylaws because of its separation from neighbors. And many of the properties have physical characteristics that permit a more individual circumstance. So while we do normally support setbacks, in view of the TRCA approval and with the stable top of slope, we have no objections to the variances in this application.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you're in support. Yeah.
No, I didn't say support. I said we're not objecting.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Yeah?
All right.
Oh, you're not objecting. Yeah. Yes, please come back, the applicant, and yes. Any question to the applicant? Because we
Not for me, thanks.
Not for you. So we are in committee now. Everybody's spoken. Now we are in committee to discuss this.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I agree, this is pretty straightforward. The fact that TRCA has signed off and approved or said they have no objection to this is everything for me. And the fact that the side yard setback is improved from what it is currently is a very positive thing. So I think this is a commendable application. I'll move approval without condition.
Okay, anyone's, Ms. Wilbert, 1 second.
Just a question. They don't need a
Yes.
TRCA permit, so we don't need to.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you, what?
I was clarifying about TRCA because they don't need a permit,
They still need-
right? But
yeah, they
we
still
don't
need-
to
yeah.
put it as a condition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so because it's such much.
Despite whether we put it a condition, they need the TRCA approval, yeah. Yeah.
A second.
Okay, we will be second. There's no condition we put in, and then all in favor is approved, is unanimously approved. Thank you for coming, yeah. So the last item today is it last item?
No, we have two.
No, sorry.
Two more.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. We have item number 20. 177 Manning Avenue. This is to construct one-story auxiliary building, which is a detached garage in the backyard, abutting the laneway. We have received a copy of the survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, and 2 photographs of the property and the decision affecting the subject property, and a tree protection plan from the agent, and we have one support letter for 181 Manning Avenue. That's the material we receive. We are ready for the agent or the applicant. Yeah.
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Marco Razzolini from Socorro Design, Inc., 20 State Bank Road, Mississauga, Ontario.
Yes, that means we do not have anyone else speaking to this application. So it seems that we haven't received any opposition, and there's no one else wants to speak to this application. So maybe I check whether our panel requires a presentation about questions, straight to questions. You do have questions. We do not need a presentation. We have some questions. Okay, yeah.
Just to make sure there is no garage or no other structure in place right now?
I believe that it was demolished. There was an existing garage. There was a previous application to build a new house on this property. I think through that application, that garage was demolished. Today, we're seeking to build a new garage.
Okay, yeah. All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
No, thanks, Chair.
Yeah, and I don't see that there's any conditions either. So now we are in committee. Do you have any issue you want to address the panel? We are ready to go into discussion.
No, I think it's a pretty straightforward application. We're just asking for a little bit larger garage than is otherwise permitted.
Yes, okay, thank you. Now we're in committee, yeah. Yeah, Ms. Moga. Yes?
It's pretty straightforward. You can see that, it just goes from, property line to another property line. So I would move a motion to approve. No, I don't see any conditions.
No condition, yeah. Mr. Reed, second. And all in favor with no conditions? All in favor, unanimously approved. Thank you. Yeah. So the last item, number 21, is 12 EDGAR Avenue. This is to alter the existing rear one-story auxiliary building, which is a 3-car garage, by constructing a complete second-story addition and a 2-story addition to the north side of the building. The second story will be occupied by a studio and a bathroom. We have received a survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a red line public notice, and 7 photographs of tree and cover letter from the agent, and also decision affecting the property. And we have received comments from urban forestry and also community planning. And those are the material we have received. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online and no registered speakers.
Okay.
Hello, this is Angela Stojanovic, presenting for Sustained Design Architects at 1724 Queen Street West. We are the agent of the owner for this property.
And before you start, I know you have make some revision on the application. Can we go through that first, please?
Absolutely. So the original zoning notice had 4 variances, but while we were consulting with the planning department, we noticed that we made a slight error in calculations for the landscaping, so we don't actually need that variance. So it got redlined, and we submitted the zoning waiver to that end.
So number 4 is deleted, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. That's all. The only revision, right?
Yes.
Okay, since we haven't received any letter of position and there's no one else want to speak to this application, so I do not know whether the panel wants a presentation.
I have a question.
Yeah, we do not need a presentation, but we have some questions. Please, yeah.
So I read your materials, and I see that you can't build a garden suite there because it's too far away from the street for fire reasons. So what are you planning to use the space for?
It will be like a yoga studio for the family, recreational space.
Okay. Are you okay if we put a condition that it can't be used as a habitable space?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And okay. Any other questions, or we're ready to? Yeah, we don't have any more questions now. We are in committee. Let's start. Yeah. I just found this a little bit strange to put studio. I wonder. I want to see it just as it is. If they cannot build a garden suite, they cannot build a garden suite. What do you think?
The reason I don't have any issue with it is just its location.
I see. Okay.
It's tucked away and it's behind 2 garages, a garage to the north and a garage/shed to the south.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that overlook impact is minimal, and I think they did a good job in terms of the roof line, keeping the angle there. And
mm-hmm.
I think it's because it's such a weirdly shaped lot.
Yeah.
I think there's enough room for this lot to hold this structure.
Yeah, it's quite a lot larger than the bylaw permits, though, right? In the 4 area, I mean. Yeah. But anyway, that's only my comment. All right, any other comment?
Just to touch on Mr. Dylan Reed's comment, I think it would be important to put this condition.
I can't hear. Put condition or what? Sorry.
It's not.
Not. Yeah, habitable space. Yes.
Habitable space. Yes.
Yeah. But if they do, usually if not habitable, sometimes that including plumbing. But if they're going to put plumbing in anyway, so it's a little bit of a contradiction, right?
That's why I think it's important to put.
So we just keep it as a bathroom, not like a dwelling. I mean, like an independent dwelling.
I mean, I can see why you'd want a bathroom there because it's quite far.
No, I understand, but no, what I mean is that it's defined. If you put plumbing.
Yeah.
Basically, a non-habitable space. I don't think you allow plumbing and gas.
That's why we're putting the condition.
Right. So we can still put that condition on.
Madam Chair, are you requesting no plumbing and electrical?
Condition that can't be used as habitable space.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll move a motion to approve these variances with forestry condition number 2, with the planning condition, and with the condition that the space, shall not be used as habitable space.
And also as amended.
As amended, yes, thank you.
Okay, with the amended application and those conditions, would like to, you like to second? Yeah. And all in favor? All in favor is approved. Thank you very much. That's the last item of today, and the time is 4:45. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members.
Yeah. Good.